you join us on a lovely warm winter's day here in Spain. In a couple of episodes previous, you see us pick Jamal up from the airport, and yeah, me and Claire were just so hyped as we really look forward to him coming out at half term and term time. And with the schools being closed early this year because of the coronavirus, it meant we got to have an extended period with him, which was just great. On his arrival, we decided to all go out for a lovely walk in a pine forest near to our home, just to get him out in the fresh air, as back in the UK, the restrictions are pretty harsh compared to here to Spain. With it being his birthday on that following weekend, we treated him to a lovely 3-course meal and a lovely restaurant on the beach. Now, out here in Spain, like I said previously, the cost of living is dramatically reduced. So all three of us managed to have 3 courses and drinks for around £50, which was a great birthday treat for him. And we got to walk on the beach afterwards and watch the sunset, which was just absolutely incredible. Now, a couple of days after Jamal's birthday, I did actually decide to go fishing, which is a little bit of a liberty, but I was super excited to get up to Orellana for my first big session. And as you see in the previous episode, number 6, it was a hard trip, but I caught some pretty incredible carp, which sowed a seed that was just growing inside me that just meant that I had to get back to this lake again very soon. But we have our son with us, so it was really important we spent some quality family time, which we was all looking forward to. On my return from Orellana on Christmas Eve, Claire was getting ready to cook us our wonderful Christmas dinner, which we all sat down and enjoyed a fabulous UK roast out here in Spain in the warm temperatures, which was very different to Christmas past for us. But it was a thoroughly enjoyable meal. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
Is that Spanish for Merry Christmas?
Yeah, Feliz Navidad. That's what it's like.
Say it again. What's it called?
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up. Over the forthcoming weeks, we spent a lot of lovely time together as a family, heading out on our bikes, cycling across the beach, cycling through the salt flats and the old salt mines out towards Cadiz. We really had a great time as a family together. And although we didn't want him to go home, Jamal was so focused on his education, he was absolutely adamant he would leave to be able to start term, which actually hasn't happened as they've cancelled schools again. But yeah, we had a thoroughly great time, and to be honest, when it came to him packing up to head back to the UK, it was pretty emotional for me and Claire, but our son is very resilient and he was absolutely focused on returning to his education. So, what are you saying about the pool situation then, Jamal?
I haven't even been in it for the entire time I've been here, and as I'm going home tomorrow, I think I've got to have a go at it.
Yeah, you gonna jump in?
Jump in now.
Go on in.
Oh, it's fine when you freezing. Oh my god.
So you looking forward to going back to the UK then, Jamal?
Not really, but I guess I'm used to being in England, aren't I?
Yeah, but we want you to stay here with us. Like, both me and your mum want you to stay here with us, mate.
No, but I've got stuff I've got to do at home.
Really?
I've got college, don't I? Apparently I've got mocks still, even though school's cancelled. I don't even know how they're going to do that.
Yeah, I know, but it just seems a bit silly going back to a lockdown when you can live quite freely here, mate.
You've got to do what you got to do.
Well, you are a man now, so it's not really our decision. If you want to go home, that's up to you, mate. But we'd prefer you to stay here with us, you know, in Spain, because it's lovely.
I'll be back soon though, don't worry.
Yeah, you best be. You best be.
Don't want him to go, but he wants to go, so, you know.
No, I'm sad too.
I think it's the computer he's missing.
What, and the fast internet connection?
Yeah, bit of a shame, but I think he'll realise once he gets there that why did he go back? But hey, we want him to stay, he wants to go. What can we do?
You have to go, you're gonna miss your flight, mate. No. It's alright, Claire, you'll see him again soon. Love you lots.
See you in a bit, love you,
See you in a bit. Oh, that was horrible. hate saying goodbye, especially to my boy sending back to lockdown UK, but Spain is also just about to go into lockdown, so it hardly seems any point keeping him here to stay with us if we're going to go into lockdown here as well. And also we might not be able to get him back home to start in time for his education, because at the moment no one really knows what's going on. But yeah, it's been a lovely time with him here for Christmas, but Claire is very, very upset. But that's life, and the journey continues. Now that Jamal had returned back to the UK, me and Claire were feeling pretty sad, to be honest. So there was only really one remedy to cure this sadness, and that was to go fishing to Orellana. Now, we drove up to the Extremadura again, and the weather was looking absolutely awful, very changeable from very cold nights to very warm days. And yeah, it wasn't really an ideal angling situation. Now, Claire hadn't fished this venue properly before and was absolutely chomping at the bit to get stuck in. So check out how we got on this particular session. Here we are on the shores of the infamous Orellana. Now, this lake has been high on my bucket list for quite some time, and for good reason. This Goliath of a lake stretches out in excess of 37 kilometres and has a surface area of over 13,000 acres. Its shores are lined with over 300 bays where the carp love to hide, so it's a big game of hide and seek, and exactly the kind of angling that gets my juices flowing. 3 weeks ago before Christmas, I did head up here on my own for my first session, which was a really tough one that seen me moving again and again and again, but eventually I did manage to bank two incredible carp, one of just short of 60 pounds and the other one of 56. We arrived at the lake 4 days ago, but unfortunately we wasn't able to start angling due to Claire having a pretty severe toothache. We decided to take a trip to the dentist to end up with Claire having a tooth extracted and laying up in bed for the last couple of days, dosed up on painkillers in an extreme amount of pain. Well, she's feeling a bit better now, aren't you, Claire? A little bit. So we're going to head out on the water, try and find some spots and just see how it goes. And hopefully Claire's pain isn't going to re-emerge and we can catch ourselves a few carp, sweetheart. Hopefully.
Plenty of painkillers, we can do this.
But yeah, it's pretty flat calm today, and although it does look sunny and warm, it is actually only 7 degrees. And hopefully we can find some fish and get angling, eh, darling? Let's do it. Right, let's do this. Big carp are waiting. Well, me and Claire have been having a little search around, haven't we, darling?
Got hungry.
But yeah, we just popped the drone up in the air and we've just found a number of fish stacked up in the corner. That's a really difficult line angle to be able to try and fish for them. I'm just going to try and work out exactly how I'm going to get a line over to these fish. There are a couple of other anglers about 400 metres down the bank, so I don't really want to disturb them, but they can't fish for these carp where they are anyway, so... but yeah, at least we found fish. Hopefully we can get bending the rod tonight. Let's get going. Right, we're just getting set up in the swim here, and yeah, I'm whispering because the fish are literally just in the bay over there, literally just behind us, and I'm actually going to cast the rigs out. I don't want to make any disturbance with a bow, and it's just no point, it's when it's within casting range, so just a little bit annoyed I didn't bring many casting leads with me. I've just got a couple, so literally it's a one-hit wonder here, and I've got to stick 2 rods out to my left as well, but I'm not going to be bothered too much about fishing loads of rods, just 2 rods each, me and Claire. Yeah, let's get moved on because the light is slowly fading away, and we need to get these rods out. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Let's just pop top off the hair. A little bit of maize, and a single tiger nut. Just gonna knock up a little PVA bag now. I'm gonna go down here and cast these 2 out at the same time. and hope that it doesn't spook them too much, having like 2 sets of casts with a bit of time in between. I just think if I just plop them in at the same time near enough, should avoid the disturbance and hopefully allow me to get a quick bite.